Oh, good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Today is, I think it's Tuesday, February the 2nd, 2021. It's 6:05 p.m. And I want to give, I want to make a video about statistics. I want to make a video about how easy it is to lie with statistics. It is extremely easy to lie with statistics. There's a book called How to Lie with Statistics, and supposedly, I've never seen it myself, but supposedly Bill Gates is known for having this book on the desk when he gives interviews, for the camera to see and everything. It's like professional liars, they like to put the fact that they're lying in your face and then get away with lying in spite of the fact that they're telling you that they're lying while they're lying. It's like an ego trip for them, right? It's like power. It's power for them, right? Anyway, there's a book, but here's the thing: you don't really need a book on how to lie with statistics. It's the nature of statistics. Statistics are like avocado. They're like cornstarch. They're like different things in cooking that don't really have a flavor of their own. They just enhance the flavor of the other ingredients in the mix, or maybe they provide texture for the other flavors in the mix. And that's what statistics are. Statistics naturally lend themselves to the intention of the person that's quoting the statistics. So if you want to be truthful with statistics, the truth about statistics is, that's a hard word to say, statistics, especially if you say it over and over and over again, statistics. The truth about statistics is that if you want to be truthful and honest in your use of statistics, then you have to make a conscious effort to go out of your way to be truthful and honest with your use of statistics. Okay, and the reason I want to talk about this is because I have this example that keeps going through my head over, and I'm like, man, I gotta make a video about this eventually. So I'm doing it now. Okay. Tony Robbins. I was listening to Tony Robbins' episode one day, some time ago, a couple years, 3 years, some time ago, and he's talking about his friend down in Mexico. His friend passed away, but he was a huge success before, he passed away. And the guy Tony Robbins' friend. I'm talking about Tony Robbins, a motivational guru guy. Okay, Tony Robbins' friend was a marketing guy. He owned a marketing company. So this Mexican real estate company hired this guy to help them build their business up. And they were successful. They were like, I'm just using some rough numbers based upon my recollection of the episode to represent the point. Don't quote me on these exact numbers, but so let's just say, I think as I recall, it was something like $200 million a year. They were like a $200 million a year, not real estate, construction. They built houses. So, but I mean, they are a real estate company, right? Because big construction companies, they go out and buy a tract of land, like, 600 acres, and they chop it up into 1,000 lots or whatever. I mean, so anyway, a construction real estate company. So, but they had plateaued at like that $200 million. They couldn't go from 200 million to the next level, So that's why they hired this marketing guru guy. And this guy went down there and he created this marketing campaign that, he did some research and whatnot and so forth. They did some marketing campaign and he it was a huge success. They went from like 200 million to 2 billion, which is like 10 times growth, right? In a short period of time, let's just say 5 or 6 years, very short period of time. So it was a huge success. And Tony Robbins was talking about how proud he was, right? And Tony Robbins was talking about how brilliant his marketing plan was because it was based on facts. Anytime you hear people using the word facts, like if you just use the word facts in a normal, matter of fact, no pun intended, like matter. But if you use the word facts like in a pretentious way, like, I have facts, you can't argue with me, then there's probably a problem there, right? It's like they doth protest too much kind of thing. It's like, you really have facts? I mean, why are you advertising the fact that you have facts if you really have facts? I mean, if you had really had the facts, you wouldn't have to beat us over the head with the fact that you had facts, right? So whenever you hear that, and that's kind of the way Tony was saying it. It's like he was using his friend as an example of the brilliance of people who do research on behalf of other people in service to those other people, and you build a business and you expand your business through research, and so educating, basically you expand your business through educating. So the premise is really good, right? But this is what I mean by statistics absorbing the intention and the goals and the attention to issues of honesty, integrity, or the lack thereof, right? The statistics will absorb all of that and just add volume to it and punctuate it and emphasize it, good or bad, okay? So this guy, apparently what he did, I'll try to make this short. This guy created this huge television marketing campaign where he explained, and it was all statistical. It was very statistical. He explained how people that come from houses of less than 8 people are like 3 times less likely to end up in prison or to become be arrested for serious crimes than people who come from houses with more than 8 people. In other words, the premise of his marketing campaign was that a small space occupied by a lot of people engenders or promotes or leads to failure in life as a human and just dysfunction and all kind of problems. That was the premise, right? But now, okay, so when I first heard that, I was like, something doesn't exactly sound, I mean, it sounds good, right? And that's the thing about statistics. They can sound so good, like, wow, that's really impressive, And then everybody starts nodding their head, and then it just becomes like this giant, like, social movement. And then not only are you going against the statistical analysis, the veracity and the reliability, but you're going against culture itself. You're going against all the mass psychology dynamics, and then you're in the whole Nazi realm where the Nazis, were masters at manipulating the public, their own public, the Germans, because even though there was hundreds of thousands of Nazis, there was millions and tens of millions of German, just regular German people, so they got to manage those. They got to manage public sentiment. They had to, and they became masters of it. But and now they're doing it here. But same people, because Nuremberg trial, they only prosecuted like 17 Nazis. I mean, the rest of them came into the rest of the countries of the world, and a lot of them came here. A lot of them, because everybody was competing for them. Because they're the smartest. They were the smartest people in the world at that time. So. Anyway, so it's really hard to go against it, right? That's another thing about statistics. They can be very hard to argue against because you get into a scientific analysis with people and it just becomes a quagmire, right? And that people start throwing the word fact around like, I have facts. How can you argue with these facts? Look at my numbers. I have numbers. Where's your data? I have data. It becomes one of those types of situations. And it just becomes very abusive and very oppressive, So it took me a while, but I finally figured it out. At least I think I did. It's like, well, wait a minute. There's 3 times as many people in a house, in an 8-person house, as there is a 2-person house, or 2 to 4, or 8 to 12, 2 to 4. So it's a foregone conclusion that if you compare houses with 8 to 12 occupants to houses with 2 to 4 occupants, that 3 times more people from the houses with 8 to 12 occupants are going to be dysfunctional than the people with 2 to 4 occupants. I mean, that's not interesting statistically. Statistically, it's a foregone because there's more people. Of course, it's true. But see, in the marketing world, you can spin that, and you can make it sound really impressive, and you can use a fact that's not even a fact that is of any interest or any curiosity, or it should just be a foregone conclusion, because yeah, you're comparing the number of houses, 100 houses here, 100 houses here, 3 times more people here as over here, and as a consequence of there being 3 times more people, there's 3 times more dysfunctional people, right? I mean, that's the size of the house doesn't have anything to do with anything. It's the number of people that you're talking about. Now, again, whenever the government or an academic institution or anybody that's serious, whenever they generate a statistical report, they always accompany the report with the underlying methodology. It's like, okay, here's how we derived these summary statistics. Because the only value to the public with statistics is the summary. I mean, we don't want to see the actual, data. I mean, we don't know what to do with the data, right? I mean, it's the summary, right? But, so I don't know the statistical methodology that they used in the marketing company to create this marketing campaign. So when I say they took 100 houses over here and 100 houses over here, there's 3 times more people here as over here. Okay, when I say that, that's me making some assumptions, but that's the whole point. You can do statistics however you want. A statistical report is like a painting. The question is not what does a report prove, because whoever made the report can make the report say whatever they want it to say. I mean, that's the nature of statistics. So anyway, that's all I want to say. Really, I mean, except with the whole coronavirus, I mean, they can just play with these statistics, and they can make more cases, less cases, more cases, less cases. I mean, they can just sit there and play with the numbers all day long like a painter and make the numbers say whatever they want them to say. So that's why I don't believe, anytime I hear statistics, especially if I hear somebody trumpeting a statistical analysis like it really means something, it doesn't mean anything. The only thing it means is that whoever created the statistical report, you can reverse engineer their intentions, right? By what the statistics say. The statistics say whatever the person who created the report wants it to say, or whoever paid for the report, So that's the only certainty that you can get out of a statistical report, is that whatever the statistics say, that's what the people who paid for the report or who made the report. I mean, it's the same thing, right? You pay somebody to make a report, they're going to make it say whatever you want it to say. I mean, you got the money, you can hire the scientist, you can buy the data, you can buy the results, you can just buy it all, right? So that's all I want to say. I mean, that's why I hear this nonsense about this coronavirus, and it's just crazy, because statistics mean nothing except, again, that when you hear somebody quoting statistics, unless they're going out of their way to eliminate their own influence over the results, which is very rare. I mean, extremely rare. I mean, and it's hard too, because eliminating your own bias is very difficult for honest, well-intentioned people. It's even difficult, right? So it's extraordinarily difficult. So 99 times out of 100, when you hear somebody quoting statistics, they're just using statistics as a megaphone to promote whatever agenda they want to promote. That's all. Statistics are just a virtual, figurative, metaphorical megaphone. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. God bless you. Bye.